Look, we don't control the wind, but we control the sail.
Yeah.
And if you're not a good sailor, you cannot sail in this life.
Welcome to the next big thing, Dhahran. Joining us today, we have Saleem Bitar, a seasoned ecosystem builder who has spent decades navigating the maze of digital transformation and innovation culture.
I call myself always someone that tried to bring technology closer to the industry. I love the idea of localization, and I see the potentials of those IPs generated in the kingdom.
From his first years in Dhahran to Silicon Valley and back, he'll be sharing some of the most important insights from the forefront of innovation.
I've been to San Francisco and Palo Alto ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I think I had that jealousy part saying, why I don't have this in my home country? We have the talents, we have the people, we have the mind, the wealth, we have the industries. And that, you talk about 2010, 2011, 2012. Look where we are today.
Join us in this discussion about the future of the kingdom, launching visionary projects and creating opportunities that attract builders from around the world. Not to copy what has already been created, but to build the next big thing.
We have the mindset of, I call it Falafel economy.
So what you mean copying?
We don't want to be in the copying business.
Yeah.
All we need to do is how can we get ourselves geared up to the next and next and next and next, always. Once you have the people with the right mindset, I think everything can happen.
So let's start like informal. I just need you to introduce yourself. Like who's Saleem?
Well, I call myself always someone that tried to bring technology closer to the industry. Starting my early days with a great industry-leading company called Saudi Aramco, in a core business line of the upstream, trying to define technologies from high-performance computing to cybersecurity to access control solutions to project security reviews to database to all these components where we try to get the technology enabled for the industry and enabled for the key SMEs that was leading the upstream.
Interesting. What was that? If you don't mind telling.
That's so after high school, I went to CPC through CPC program, College Preparation Center, and came back to Saudi Aramco in 1999.
All right.
Worked till 2007, and then wanted to be the Bill Gates of Khobar. But that time, got surprised with the reality in 2008 of the financial crisis. And then got hunted by HP, where that story became very interesting because a great man came to me, an old friend, and he said, he was early retired by Aramco, and he said, I have this opportunity, HP is looking for someone. And I said, I'm done with corporate life. I want to do my own. And he said, give it a shot. You know, it's different and you need to explore it, and it's a global role. And I said, what do you need from me? He said, I need a CV. I spent 6 weeks writing a CV because I never had a CV. And that CV was one of the lengthiest CVs you can ever do. And to me was to learn and to see how corporate US and the technology companies and to enable them to speak closer to the industry language. That was my role and a global accounts. So we did a lot on that starting 2010, mid-2010. I was able to convince HP to fund the first Saudi Arabia high-performance computing forum.
Oh, nice.
And which Aramco took later on and sponsored and became more of an annual forum and symposium. Decided then to step out of HP, and HP was going through restructure. So I thought time for me to either leave the country, go to Palo Alto or somewhere near Europe, or find something else to serve the country and serve the industry leaders. So Huawei at that time approached me. I accepted. They were so pro Saleem at the time, alhamdulillah. And everything we asked for and the business plans, I think, was put together. And it was the first technology company that coming to Dhahran Techno Valley from infrastructure and IT technology perspective. Then I was lucky to join Emerson with the great leadership in Emerson, meeting them in Adipec at that time. And was proposed a job on that platform, and I accepted. And the good news that we also integrated a beautiful center here in the Dhahran Techno Valley for Emerson. I was part of a great leadership team there, trying to put things together. And I think we had so much unleashed, first happen, hackathons, you name it, use cases, MOUs, many things were done and were developed there. Till I was again called by Microsoft for the third time in my life. And this time I accepted. They put an offer that I couldn't say no to. And was a lot of great experience in Microsoft. You learned a lot. I mean, it's very rich when it comes to knowledge. Then my decision was, in end of 2021, to say, it was clearly that, you know what, it's time for me to go and focus. And I love the idea of localization. And I see the potentials of how much those IPs that being generated in the kingdom, and how much we can export, and how can we attract to import, and how much talent that can be contributed, and how much GDP that will contribute in. So I was one of the earliest champions that, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, to establish a company called the Sailors AI, end of 2021. And the purpose of this company was localization of AI, localization technology, exporting IPs, putting digital transformation journeys together, putting things enabled to the industry and to the different partners we have, and attracting technology companies to get closer by putting the right ecosystem in place. And that's, I think, what everybody's talking about now, and hopefully it's coming soon and we can be public news, but we'll definitely hold on it. But I'm sure we have more on that. I heard that you captured few insights, but I'll keep it. I'll wait for your questions. So that's where we stand today. I'm happy to be with you, Bara. Bara, you come with a very rich background as well yourself. You've been always a great contributor to the ecosystem of those IPs, of the GDP, of the larger picture of the Saudi Arabia GDP, by enabling so many great entrepreneurial programs in the previous jobs, and coming to Dhahran Techno Valley with that energy that I see, and the change and the shift that also you bring forward. That's amazing, and I'm really happy to sit and be with you. Sorry for being lengthy.
No problem. Thank you for your great words. Like I stopped on a comment that you mentioned, that one of your previous jobs, like the reason that you didn't move forward was, you will be moving to Palo Alto, which is Silicon Valley, which is the spot that most of the innovators will be dreaming to go there. So I just want to know why.
I did live in Palo. I've been to San Francisco and Palo Alto ecosystem. HP headquarters was there.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not saying I've learned it all, but I was jealous. The first thing I stepped there, I was jealous. I'm like, why we don't have this? We have the talents, we have the people, we have we have the mind, the wealth, we have the industries, can immediately enable things. I had that jealousy part saying, why I don't have it in my home country, and why I don't have it in Dhahran, in my city, or Khobar, or Dammam, or in the Eastern Province. And that you talk about 2010, 2011, 2012. Look where we are today. I mean, we are the most attractive country in the world, where people want to come, and where people, with the right vision, with the right leadership, with the right budgets, with industry leaders in place, with the policymakers in place, with there's so much that we can really work together. The collaboration mind, the collaboration attitude is so amazing. You find that appetite is very open whenever we sit and talk about any idea. So to me, that speaking of HP, with all respect to that time of my period of my life, but the decision was either to move to Palo Alto, or maybe somewhere in Europe, or wait for do the same here. And the company at that time was splitting to HP Corporate, HP Enterprise, and within HP Enterprise, they're removing the service, removing the software, removing the network. So the company was going into a lot of chop-off.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those guys that I like always to glue solutions together. So now you're going to live without glued solutions for your industry. And it was after 5.5 or 6 years. So my decision was, nope, your country first, your hometown first. I think we can do better. So it's not about dropping Silicon Valley, but it was the jealousy. I want to bring Silicon Valley, and I think we're getting there. But we're on the right, hopefully, inshallah, the right steps, and we're the right mindset, alhamdulillah, and we are on the right. I would say, that makes things happen. You'll be surprised how much people are interested to come. They just need the right entry.
Exactly. So maybe refocusing on Dhahran, since you were one of the people who were behind first in Dhahran in a lot of initiatives. Like one of them is bringing companies to the region, and the other thing is bringing hackathons and these kind of support programs. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Every time in every job, including my days now, bringing a company or individual or an SME or a young talent or an elder talent to the kingdom, they got inspired, they get excited, they want to come back, they want to do more, they want to have an opportunity, and they want to help and contribute. Each companies work with ecosystem. Some local partners in their countries, or some integrators. They never came to Saudi, or in HP we had in Microsoft we had, so for example, a lot of IP co-sell companies that they never been even had the presence in Saudi at that time. And the minute you say, look, this is the industry, who doesn't want to work with industry leader on this planet? And we have all industry leaders, and many of them in Saudi Arabia, and actually, to be specific, in Eastern Province. It's beyond what we can see, what we can imagine. We have a lot of potentials within the kingdom, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.
Alhamdulillah.
It's beyond, actually unmeasurable at this stage. And that's because that shift that's happening in getting everyone accelerated, getting everyone on the mindset, the right mindset, and it always starts with the people. Once you have the people with the right mindset, I think everything can happen. And I think that's where we stand, and that's why you see unmeasurable. You can put maybe minimum of this, but you can say that's the maximum. You can say that's my ceiling when it comes to opportunity or market size. But you said we see that minimum of this, not less than this. You always hear that.
Great. So I hear that you were laughed at that you mentioned digital transformation for one of the companies. Can you tell me more about this?
You have so much sources of information. How can I compete with this? All right, let me be legally and correctly and politely, nicely. So I was in one of the companies trying to patriate for digital transformation. And the company at that time had some challenges on being qualified as a digital transformation partner for some of the industry leaders. And when you say digital transformation, is not about one-stop shop company. That mindset was a little bit challenged, and my proposal was challenged. Luckily and gratefully, the leadership was on top of this, and they came and they had a plans for that. And I don't want to stop by people, individuals, but the company at all is one of now the leading digital transformation worldwide. They have so much outstanding solutions, alhamdulillah, but that
Nice.
took at least 9 months to get the news out from my first day of hiring till that 9 months. Now, through that 9 months, as a journey of, what do you want to call it, explaining to everyone what's digital transformation and why we don't want to say, I don't need your asset inventory, and why I don't want to say to customers, I don't care about if you're connected or not, or so on. So digital transformation usually is around asset reliability, energy efficiency, productions and production KPIs, health, environment, and safety, and the people and the mindsets and the optimizing that growth acceleration and so on. So if you don't meet those KPIs in any digital transformation or any partnership doing a digitization or digital transformation practice, you'll be out of the game, basically. A few years later, in 2018, 19, and everywhere we go, and moving all the way to 2025, you see those people became now more onto what's next, the hunger of the technology, and what I can do more with my data, and about how can I generate more data. It's that mind shift changed over the few years, and you can see it coming and together, all the way together. So we're talking about digitization and what you can do with getting all these data at that time. And that's where digital transformation story and how you can get, for example, a smart pipeline solution or a smart refinery or digital factory practice or so on. And now you see that everything's being connected more, and there's a data oceans coming together, and what you can do with all of this, and that generates so much opportunities on the different KPIs that you want, optimization, energy, whatever, health, environment. So, to my humble opinion, don't quote me, but I think our vision is beyond what we see today. So our expectation is still higher from what we see today. It's so much that we still can put together, and so much we can generate from IP perspective, from the data that been generated, from machine learning, from you name it, on everything we're doing, the best practices, the lifestyle, the ambient society practice, from health environment to everything that related to our earth and planet, and to environment and education. There's so much stuff still can be done. Alhamdulillah, where we are. Alhamdulillah that we have the will. Alhamdulillah, we have the right people and the mindset and the right beautiful leadership that we have. And we'll make things happen, inshallah. And I think there's a lot of way to go. I don't think we're expecting, I don't think I'm surprised of where we are today. Relax, and I think we're still more.
Yeah, maybe adding to that, because I spent around 3 years in Riyadh, and before Riyadh I was in Dhahran, right? So someone was asking me, like, what is the difference, right? Like, what did you see as a difference? And I told him, like, basically, I was like, my speed in Dhahran was around 120, and in Riyadh it suddenly became 300. I mean, I heard a lot of people talking about that, and I used the same wording because I really saw that, like, things are growing very fast. So a lot of initiatives are happening there, and I'm sure that this speed will come very soon to Dhahran, right? With all of the ecosystem connections that's happening and all of the innovations that's happening. I'm sure that you might have some additions to that.
Well, Dhahran was ahead of the game. If we talk technically still, I mean, from industrial perspective, industrial related solutions, thank you to our industrial leaders, we are ahead of many worldwide comparisons, benchmarking.
Yeah.
And the potentials are still high. I mean, we're not there, we're not in equilibrium level, but I think there's still more to come. And it's really nice to see Riyadh with that great momentum coming in Riyadh. And as you said, we go 300, and I would love to see it even 400, right? I mean, why not? Let's see it's 500, let's see it 600. And it's driving the whole kingdom and the whole region to next levels. No one can deny that. And I think, yes, it will pull everyone else. It will pull Dhahran, it will pull Eastern Province, Western Province, the rest of it's the capital, man. And that's the right way. The capital is the capital. And the initiatives are mega initiatives. So for industry leaders to see that, it's actually, they find it very healthy in a way. Yet that brings a lot of challenges on, for example, on talent retentions, bring a lot of challenges on how can we get these technology companies also look outside Riyadh and the capital and maybe stretch their capacities. Some of them, they might not have the capacity. Some of them, they need more to prioritize their opportunities. But yes, that definitely brought some challenges to the rest of the industries and across the kingdom. But that's also healthy because that brings competition in place, that brings more talent and talent to reinvest in themselves more and to see what they want to do more. But for the retention perspective, it takes two to tango. So now the industry as well and the companies that lives here are serving that part of the kingdom has also to keep an eye on how can I retain a great champion in my team. And that's if he found a better opportunity, right, that's healthy for him, that's great for him, and that's more experience. But if the company want to retain him, then they have to do compensate that that those offers that coming from our lovely capital, Riyadh. But reality is there's so much on talents and what we need to do with the talents. There's so much curriculums been put together. There's so much collaboration needed on the undergrad, the grad. The academia sector has a lot of pressure to fulfill that market requirements. And alhamdulillah, we can see a lot of great universities, منهم جامعة البترول and خريج من جامعة and other بترول, yeah. And we'll come to these namings. بس there was الحمد لله بس كمان other universities, جامعة الإمام, الأمير محمد, جامعات كثيرة في المنطقة الشرقية. They have amazing curriculum and they really great talents. I worked with many of these graduates and كان interns ولا graduates ولا postgraduates, undergraduates and even professors. In the potential is so high. The number of patents being done is remarkable now. From patent perspective, research studies, case studies, a paper released and so on, published. There's so much academia enrichments coming out of Dhahran. Alhamdulillah, it serves the whole country. It serves the kingdom you'd be challenged. Saudi Arabia, the kingdom, our lovely kingdom, Saudi Arabia, we have 22% of the size of the United States of America, including Alaska. 22 point something. This is how big we are. From geographical perspective, we're huge. California is nothing to us. I mean, California, Dallas and everyone else, you can combine at least few, as we said, 22% of USA, including Alaska, that will give you the size of Saudi Arabia. That's how much we are. I have a whole benchmark on the Saudi Arabia from all the potentials, all perspective, from AI to geography to transportations to infrastructure, and a benchmark with the rest of the world. And having Saudi Arabia part of the G20, I think in a very short time you'll see us even, inshallah, on top 5. The potentials are there, but again, these companies, especially the companies coming from outside, they need to see that. They have to feel it, touch it, and live with it. And by the way, the beauty is, anyone that was reluctant, he's missing the train. He's completely missing the train. He's behind now. Or can sit and disclose a few things, but seriously, anyone did not feel and live and empowered the technology within Saudi Arabia, he's out of the train, and he needs to catch up on second maybe train, I don't know, or maybe some other boss stuff. Yeah.
This is an interesting thing to quote, because His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman were asked a question that if someone are not believing in the vision and stuff, what do you give him a recommendation? And he told him the most successful story of the generation that we are in is Saudi, and you will miss it, right? So it's similar to missing the train, as mentioned.
It's true. It's not even tara, it's a say. And I lived it. I've seen companies that were reluctant to do this and not to do that, to invest or not to invest. Or I was hired on a promises that they will bring that investment, and they never brought that investment. And guess where they are today? And that's their call. That's their choice. I'm fine. On the other hand, we're a company, they love this country, and they say they want to invest more, and they want to do more, and see where they are today. See how many subsidiaries they have, and factories, and processes, and connection, and reputation, and how much been loved by the market, and how much been loved by their proponents. It's two different mindsets.
And I think we as people from Saudi, we've been through a lot of transformations, and then they use the word mukhadram, but we've been through a lot of stuff, right? So yeah, maybe coming back again to another thing that I heard about, which is an iconic project that you are working in Dhahran. Okay, so I'm hearing a lot, but can you tell me more about this project, and what is it exactly?
So marhab fik, you are a great brother, and you work in a great institute and a great company. So that iconic project is somehow under NDA, and we don't want to disclose much about it.
Yeah.
But it's a dream come true. It will attract a lot of technology companies that already have initially accepted to be part of it, and to attract them, to bring them closer in Saudi Arabia. Some of them, they've been here. Some of them, they are here. Some of them, they've never been here. And it's ahead of the game with many things they're doing. We don't want to disclose more, but it's definitely attracting. The objective of this, to localization of the technologies, and to get our IPs also exported, to get our talent accelerated, to have our IPs and use cases contribute to the overall economy in terms of the industry itself, or the company, technology partner coming together, getting that catalogs working together, hopefully contributing at the end of the day to the bigger vision of Saudi Arabia.
So maybe if you don't mind, I'll ask again about the jealousy of Palo Alto and the Silicon Valley, right? What did you see in the Silicon Valley back then? I'm sure that back then things were not as the speed as we are in right now. So what is the thing that you saw back then, and it could be plugged to the current ecosystem, that you see missing?
I'll summarize it in I would say just words, and that would be self-explanatory. Collaboration, culture of innovation, so many slice functions that we don't have yet. I mean, technology companies, they don't hire everyone here. So you can get, for example, you get a CTO on infrastructure different from a CTO on biomedical engineering, just an example. So these are the three things that I think it's brought my jealousy, where all of these three parts gives you a culture, give you a very beautiful technology culture. And once you have that technology culture, people start being attracted to come and, I need part of this. What's next? Where shall I put my money? Where's the investment opportunity? Or as a technology champion, how can I help getting my IP or my patent? Because now someone can listen to you and can sit and talk to you and get you what you need. And the beauty that of course, because of their experience and their global reach that they have the reach. So the minute you have an IP or a license or some new technology or anything that's been brought together, you find it quickly spread to the rest of the world. So that's I would say what makes the jealousy part was, so we have the talent, we have the infrastructure, we have a lot of things that we can do. We just need them to work together. We get that culture, and the culture is ready for this now. A lot can be done. Alhamdulillah, we can see a lot of these entrepreneurs, a lot of use cases coming, a lot of beautiful IPs commercialized, or some of them are deep tech or more on the commercial sector or more on fintech or more. There's a lot and that we've seen lately in the past few years, and that's signs of being healthy and we're on the right track.
Interesting. You know, maybe coming to culture, because yesterday, we were managing an event for startups, right? And a guy came to me and he said, and I'm a student and an entrepreneur, right? So I told him, great, like, what are you building? He said, I'm building a startup into culture. I said, wait, what do you mean about culture? So he started to pitch, right?
Okay.
Like it took him like around 3 minutes. He started to explain to me in details.
Okay.
So basically what he is trying to do is to go to a certain organization and literally transform their culture to be.
You want to work on the culture to make it more.
Yes, to make it. So I told him, this is really great. I mean,
yeah, that's smart. I think that I need to
it's
do.
sort of like consulting, you know, / culture adjustment to be compatible to
and touch this.
yeah, for the end goals and stuff.
Yes.
So I think people are considering that, which is great, and it's interesting to see it from a young student. You know.
Now my turn to ask you. I need to I want to hear from you, because I have my view and I have my theories and philosophy around this. But you've been an entrepreneur with a great IP that you went and commercialized and being accelerated, working with accelerators. I don't know if the incubator.
Actually, it didn't reach to commercialization, but like establishing the company.
Establishing the company, and it's called Tripex.
Yes,
it's digital tourism, and I'm sure you work with different, for example, Ministry of Tourism and different ministers, and you work with the accelerators and you work with incubators, and I'm sure you had your own challenge a few years ago, and also you've seen the challenges that few months old IPs that being done, and that's your area of expertise. That's a great area. I need to learn from you a lot there, but also I want to hear from you, so to see if I'm thinking on the same track or not. But
yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing that. Actually, like if I wanna talk about it, like I can talk about it from two ways, right? So, or like two parts. The first part is working with a company called Aramco, which is work closely to the startups ecosystem. So we used to to support entities to accelerate and incubate. So I used to see it from the supporter angle, right? When I went to be part of an accelerator as a company and a startup, it's a completely different experience. So you see it from the inside. And like one of the things that I used to think about as an entrepreneur, and okay, tourism tech, so I need to build a tech, so I need to have a tech team and stuff. So I was focusing a lot on the tech part, and in a way, like I started to forget about the business part. So what I benefited from an accelerator, and it's called MVP Lab. It's part of the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology Accelerators, and it's a great experience that, okay, they tell you technology is important, you are a tech solution, but let's focus a little bit on the product, let's focus on the persona, let's build a business model canvas. So they take you to the part of the business, which is very important, like to focus and dig deeper on who is the customer, who is really your customer, right? Trying to speak to your customer, how you can approach your customer. So this kind of stuff was very, very helpful. It gave me an angle to know that the most important thing in the startup is the product. If you don't have the right product, whatever technology you have, it's not gonna help. And here why we started to pivot right now. So the pivot that we had, we figured out a niche customers, which is the business travelers who are coming to Saudi and they don't know where to go. So we started to serve this category. And what we are thinking about at the current stage is to focus on those, have more clients from them, then we build a technology around them. So coming back to the accelerators and incubators, because like when I wear the hat of the consulting and what is the things that's happening, the happy part of it that I see most of the entities are working on innovation a lot, right? So you name it, any entity or like any ministry that you can think about, they have an innovation department. Some of the entities or like some of them, they were not active and they started to be more active by seeing the other entities and ministries. They started to compete, which is great. This is a great competition to see. And definitely, definitely the benefit that the end user having, who is like the local person or the entrepreneur, like everything is ready for you. You just like need to face the challenge and move it forward. I mean, this is the great thing about the incubation accelerators and hackathons for sure.
Speaking positively about accelerator and hackathon, but again, I've seen some accelerator and hackathons, and that's one of the challenges we have on these startups, that they expect you to do everything. So I've seen that mindset. I feel it changing now lately, but a few years ago, not very far, they were expecting you to be the CFO, the marketing operation officer, the sales, the CTO, right? The HR, the lawyer. I mean, they expect a startup to have all these discipline, or at least half of them. I'm just saying being psychiatrists, but they just, they want to have a healthy financial sheet. They want to see your law and, your contracts and your IPs being preserved and patented. And they want to see different things here and there, and they want to see a marketing strategy. And then the champions being challenged on how can I fulfill those incubators or accelerators requirements, and what are you going to give me in return? Because that return part also sometimes is, I don't need just an office or workstation. It could be more, or I don't want to pay just for my spot. So that I would like to hear more how things goes, because I have some, I'll come to that.
Yeah, okay. One of the things that I learned by experience when I started to be in the technology and innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem, if you need anything, you need to ask for it. And sometimes people forget about that. They are facing a challenge, but they don't go and away from their laptop and they ask for support. And what I found that whenever you knock any doors, I'm sure that some of the doors, like you will not be figuring out or like getting supported, but like the majority of the people in the startups ecosystem in Saudi Arabia are super supportive. And like I can give you an example of the behavior that if you went to someone and he don't have the solution, like he'll try to connect you with the right person. And this kind of behavior is one of the most beautiful things that I feel in the tech ecosystem that I'm enjoying. That if you need any kind of support, just ask for it. You will get it either from the person himself that you ask him, or he will connect you and refer you to the right person.
So you'd get some financial assistance easily nowadays, for example. Not financial aid, not in
Financial,
but I mean like putting financial model in place, putting maybe do you still need to show some financial statements?
like from the experience that I had, I found that there is some consulting or like some financial consultants who are focused on innovation, technology, and startups. So they know like how to evaluate your startup, how to give the value that you will fundraise for, and
And
how
that's
to.
part of the incubators or part of the accelerator, or you just go shop around and get.
Well, like
Right.
what I learned from the incubators, that if you started your company and you reach to a level that you reach to the MVP level, like you have an
Minimum viable
yeah,
product.
you have a minimal valuable product that will give you an evaluation
Yeah.
that's justifiable
Yeah.
to fundraise on, which is around 2 million USD, right, as a value. So if you are a working MVP or a working minimum valuable product, you can fundraise on an evaluation of $2 million. And what I learned as well, that like the startups game is completely different than the corporate game and the family business game. Like all of it is completely different. So it's completely different than the traditional business.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Do you
scaling.
find the language being shifted? Do you find the mindsets, the language, the appetites that's being changed when it comes to family business, or the different language that's being now?
Yeah.
Because many people, to them, having, for example, a pre-seed investment or seed investment, or Series A,
Yeah.
or being co-founder, or being, having that terminology and stuff. You go to many investment family houses and you find, they're more into the legacy model now. Or they go through investment firms or investment arms that they trust and they work, which is fine. But again, getting these terminologies, for example, throughout your journey, you find it was easy adjusted, easy adopted, easy being taken note of, or it was for you more of a challenge getting, everyone educated on what you need? Or
Well, it's a challenge to shift from, like, for example, the corporate world, and to understand the ecosystem of the startup easily. You
Right.
need to figure it out. It takes time. You need to meet a lot of entrepreneurs. You need to read a lot. You need to see what's happening in the ecosystem. Like, for example, small examples that I can give is like if you reach to a level that you convinced an investor, right? He will sign with you a document called Safe Note, and the Safe Note is something that has a lot of terms, and it will be like a future equity, right? He will invest with you with a certain terms that when you reach to a certain level, um, he will own equity in your company, and it will not have a cap and stuff. So it has a lot of complications when it comes to the terms and the details. A lot of startups, they form their companies in Abu Dhabi Global Market and Cayman Island because of the ease of the investor investing in that companies and the stuff. So there is some challenges in the ecosystem when it comes to the investment, but at the end, like we are reaching there, and this is the thing that each and every entrepreneur need to go through it to understand it. Even if it was like 100% understanding, he need like at least to know the frame of it,
Yeah.
and that's why it's different from the traditional business and the family business and the other parts that you mentioned. So great, Saleem. I mean, I'm really enjoying the conversation. And since we are almost like reaching to an end, I would like to ask you about an interesting thing that you mentioned before, like falafel economy. What is falafel economy?
I don't want to. So falafel economy, keep it between me and you and the audience. We have the mindset of I call it falafel economy. So usually falafel economy, there is a nice shop comes with a great chef or a great someone with his own recipes that comes and he put a shop together doing falafel. The beginning of the street. Then a few weeks later, the whole street became a falafel district.
Yeah.
I call that falafel economy. Where we became the masters of falafel economy in many things, in many areas, in many industries, in many places, in many, from laundry to barbers, you name it. And now we see that also happening with Accelerator, JVs, and different things. And then the market will filter itself. The guy loses chef. Second chef comes in place. The falafel changes. He shut down. Next place maybe hire his main chef, picks up. Right. And the whole district has their own Falafel economy principle, and it applies to different things we do. So
what you mean copying?
we don't want to be in the copying business.
Yeah.
This is a scary. It lacks it. First, it's inbox our innovation. It's inbox our capacity, mindsets and capacities. It could be an investment and money draining, and it could be something that we short period of investment or short period of service arm or whatever you want to do. I think what we need to focus is the growth within. What we need to do is how can we get ourselves geared up to the next and next and next and next, always ahead of the plan, accelerated, building our competencies, skills, innovation thinking, putting all together, working on your talent if you have your own talent. So to me, it's, and I'm sure many maybe echo that or have heard it also in some places. The 5 IQs I think every individual has to work together is the academic IQ, innovative IQ, talent IQ, physical IQ, social IQ. And then you need to skill them together to make things. And the same applies for your business. It has to be within. It has to be the right innovative thinking, or the right go-to-market strategy, or the right partnership, or the right strategy. Don't copy. Learn from other mistakes. Nothing wrong with that. But don't get into the falafel economy trap. Nothing wrong to be also an employee. I mean, we're all employees. We all have worked together. We all built. We all contributed. I have my name registered in a few companies and things I did I'm proud of in my career so far, even after 10, 15, 20 years. Even more. I don't disclose much information. but again, there is so much potential to grow within. There's so much potentials on the Saudi economy that everyone can tap and help and be part of that great success stories and come later on. Just imagine the story of your kids or grandchildren's coming and you see your legacy or your success story or something you've done to your country and proud of, and you say, I've done this. I was part of this. I was part of that beautiful team that I was blessed to be being part of that team or being part of that company or being part of. So it's there is a lot of glory that everyone can live, and unleash his potentials to the maximum, and you find it giving back. You find that يرجع لك الخير. The more you do, the more you give, the more things will get back. So that's I started with falafel economy, but I think I got driven and inspired with this. But yes, don't be in the falafel economy. That's
so something that I hear says where focus goes, energy flows, right? So the thing, thinking about the Vision 2030, and we are almost less than 5 years away to the vision.
right.
If you use all of your experience collectively and you decided to focus on something for the next 5 years,
Oh, wow.
what would be the thing that you will focus on?
That's a tough question. Good one though. I love it. I'll try stick to my mission of trying to bridge and attract more technologies to come closer, develop and skill more of our task force and our capacities on different disciplines, create collaboration, enable local industries, and export whenever they want to go IPs and they want to have their own IP ecosystems, export them to the rest of the world, and they will find the value immediately once they say, I want to do that. Numbers never lie.
Yeah, but I meant if you as Saleem, right? So like consider it for yourself. You will focus on
That's my mission for
Okay.
what I'm doing. Look, we don't control the wind, but we control the sail.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're not a good sailor, and that's the story. If you're not a good sailor, you cannot you cannot sail in this life. Now sailors go from one place to another and they hub from one port to another and they enrich their journey, their life, their health, their mindsets, their joyful experience by the different culture, by the different colors, but in order to go from one hub to another, you need to be a good sailors with the right planning, with the right skilling, with the right tools, with the right competencies, how you can sail. Saying this, we've been trying on getting that mission, getting these objectives together We've been successful in many, we've been challenged in others, but I think we just need to keep focus and keep poking and keep making sure that we keep sailing, I would say, on the things we want to do. But that's as Salim, that's as, you know, being humble on what I want to do, and on the great team and the great, lovely individuals that we work together, and the great partners as well that we work together. There's no single team win with one player, and without the right enthusiasm, with the right energy in the field, you can get that win, you can get that scores.
Yeah.
Keep grow, keep practice, keep training, don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't put your hopes down, and keep looking forward.
And maybe one last question, an advice that you give to the young generation and the young entrepreneurs.
The young crowd, I'm inspired with the young crowd that I see. I'm really literally inspired with the great Saudi young talents and the non-Saudis that living here for many years trying to contribute to the country. They are the inspiration that we have, and they are the energy we need to fuel the future that we need to do. My advice, I'll summarize my advice: keep skilling your 5 IQs. Yeah. Keep working, keep growing behind, think differently, challenge sometimes the processes to optimize, challenge the technology to produce better, challenge the energy consumption so you can save, challenge yourself so you can do more. Even if you're in a sport, challenge your muscles to work harder and score more, and beat the records. It's about getting that mindset, growth mindset, getting things happen, discipline. We lack it ourselves, and we need everyone to, to get that discipline mindset. I think we got lazy a little bit and in the way in our life, but we need to get our acts always together. Think innovatively, don't copy, work on yourself, give to others, help others, be part of a great and greater teams, and you'll have it back. Keep healthy relationships. Very important to keep that framework, healthy relationships. As I said, tell it to my kids. So I'll tell it to anyone else. But honestly, the young generation today is very inspiring. Even kids 4 and 5 and 6 and 9 years old, you find them digitally competent on the games they do. Games they cannot do yourself. Just imagine that when they grow, where they're going to go. And just imagine how much they can come back to you and say, I want to do this, Baba. I want to do this on gaming. I want to do this on IPs. I want to do this on... Would you be ready for that? You need to tell them where to go, right? Where you them from ideation to realization. Did anyone do it before or not? Do you want to preserve that IP as well? You don't want to disclose that IP. Now, if you do some slides, someone likes the slide, you find it somewhere else. I've seen it in many places. But how you preserve that and how you work with the right team to protect you and to work with you as a team. The life has so much challenges. But those challenges sometimes makes you stronger and makes you enjoy life more.
What does
always
think
think of get your mindset together.
Saleem, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for inspiring us.
Habibi, thank you very much. It was a lovely, 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 lovely time. And we'll be always here to help and answer any questions at any time.